Today News Update.
A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Tuesday, July 19. So glad you could join us. Government wants the island's credit unions to move to the next level and is taking action to improve the corporate governance structure of these financial institutions. Word of this from Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Ryan Strawn, as he introduced the Financial Services Commission Amendment Bill in Parliament today.
It is important now that we look very carefully at how do we reorient the structures of the boards of credit unions, notwithstanding their bylaws with respect to membership and how that works. But in order to take on and to strengthen what I would say, sir, is the architecture. Because with each juncture, sir, we must always pause and assess how best can we serve the interests, certainly, of ordinary Barbadians. And from a regulatory perspective, sir, we believe that in order for us to be able to lift not just the credit union movement, but certainly the domestic insurers, which we have, who have also done some acquisitions regionally as well, sir. We want to see these Barbadian businesses grow. And in seeing these Barbados businesses grow, as regulators, we must set the space for that growth and recognize that credit unions can acquire entities too, domestically or regionally or internationally. And therefore, our regulatory stance has to be supportive of that environment. And therefore, we've given, as the Minister, firm direction to both the Central Bank and the FFC, that as we transition to focusing on how do we use regulations for growth, that we equally strengthen, sir, down the line, the corporate governance structures of all of the institutions that they regulate.
He also served notice that tighter regulations are coming for other financial institutions, as he cautioned Barbadians to stay clear of investing in fancy schemes.
It is important that whilst we find the right balance, sir, with respect to regulation on these new instruments, that Barbadians also pay attention, sir, to where they put their money. Because if there's nobody that you can call, really, and ask a serious question about who is in charge of this entity, what is the underlying asset that is driving the performance of the entity, now I can only caution people, sir, to think carefully, very, very, very carefully about where you choose, sir, to put the little change that you may have extra to be able to deploy for the best uses, because we want to encourage investment. But we want to encourage investment, sir, that is responsible, both domestically, regionally, and even internationally. But we need to do it in a way, sir, that is as seamless as possible.
Barbados recorded a noticeable jump in COVID-19 cases on Monday. The Ministry of Health reports there were 400 new COVID-19 cases, 158 males and 242 females, from the 1,083 tests carried out by the Best de Santos Public Health Laboratory. The new cases consisted of 68 persons under the age of 18 and 332 who were 18 years and older. The number of people in isolation facilities was 42, while 1,857 were in home isolation. An 89-year-old fully vaccinated man died from the virus on Monday, bringing total COVID-19 related deaths to 480. The total number of fully vaccinated persons is 153,831 persons. That's 56.8% of the total population, or 67.4% of the eligible population. The island's farmers are backing government's plans to provide cheaper vegetables and fruits to consumers as part of measures to cope with the rising cost of living. CEO of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, says while farmers continue to face high operational costs, they are prepared to make the necessary sacrifices.
A lot of the cost realities have not changed for many farmers, but there are some farmers who have indicated that they are prepared to work to sort of, give the price benefits on certain products. So as I understand it, chicken is one of them, and collect chickens and so on. So there are some farms who have indicated that they can do it. So, and it has always been the sector's thing in terms of trying to be as cost effective and efficient as possible.
Regional and international news coming up after this short break.
Pure oxygen is way more than just water. We infuse pristine water with over 1 billion tiny oxygen bubbles using our state-of-the-art process. The benefits of additional oxygen are huge, from strengthening your immune system to increasing energy levels, stamina, and sports performance. And that's not all. It also improves skin health, helps you sleep better, and reduces stress. Join the movement of people experiencing the benefits of pure oxygen. It's not hype, it's science.
To regional news in the Bahamas, 24 hours after a crippling strike at the island's airport, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper says the economic impact will be significant. He assured that government is trying to resolve the matter.
The airport authority has identified the people who missed their flights and promised them expedited processing through security today. So in terms of customer service, we're doing everything we can. The overall economic impact of yesterday's action is perhaps a significant number, given that many people missed flights, given the impact on the jurisdiction, our reputation, whether it discouraged passengers from coming. That's something we will have to see over a period of time. We haven't determined that yet. What we do know that we are committed to a resolution. We want to move forward in harmony with the workers. We are a government and administration that's labor friendly. We consistently say that. And the reality is that my mission as the minister responsible for aviation is to ensure a state of normalcy and to say to the workers that we will guarantee that they will receive whatever they are legitimately entitled to receive.
On the international scene, Sri Lanka's parliament has announced the 3 candidates nominated to become the next president. A secret ballot is expected to be held tomorrow. More in this report from Al Jazeera Television.
On Wednesday, parliamentarians will choose a successor to Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who fled the country and resigned amid massive public protests. As the vote approaches, the deal-making is intense. The opposition leader pulled out of the race and proposed former government minister Dallas Alahaperuma. The chairman of the Rajapaksa's SLPP party seconded the name. Another senior SLPP member proposed Ranil Wickremesinghe for the post. Seconding was this man, who had been a vociferous critic. Wickremesinghe has been premier 6 times and is now the acting president. He's a familiar figure, but not a popular one. Seen as a protector of the Rajapaksas, he is likely to have their support. This man is his main challenger, Dallas Alahaperuma, a senior politician sidelined by the Rajapaksa brothers. He first entered parliament in 1994. A few years later, he said he was disheartened and disgusted, but after a break from politics, he's back in the field. The third candidate is Anurakumara Dissanayake, the leader of the National People's Force. His party mobilized tens of thousands of people from across Sri Lanka to march against the Rajapaksa government and Wickremesinghe. The outcry over the possibility of Ranil Wickremesinghe being elected is getting louder. University students joined trade unions to voice their opposition on Monday.
Right now, Ranil is doing deal politics. We don't need deal politics. We need politics, better politics. Please go home, Ranil.
How can someone fully rejected by the people be chosen as the president of the country? That's why we are totally opposed to this.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.ee. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Medium bus terminals as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.